What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It's Ars. Let's get productive. So, first and foremost, I want to say that I hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving and you had some great food and you had some great times with family. And I hope everyone has been taking advantage of these incredible Black Friday sales. I feel like it's the perfect time to be talking about a lot of these new plugins because I know if you're like me, you're always looking to update your sounds. And I have a pretty cool plugin for you guys today. It comes from Toybox Audio. Now, full transparency, Toybox Audio reached out to me. They asked me to do a review of their brand new plugin. It's called FM Zone, and it's a synthesizer with some really cool, interesting, unique features to it. But everything I say in this video is 100% how I feel about the plugin. I'm in no way gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm gonna say exactly how I feel about it, and then I'll leave the rest up to you guys to decide if this is a plugin that you can see yourself adding to your arsenal. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. Toybox Audio, FM Zone. Let's see what this thing is all about. So as always, I have Logic queued up, and this is FM Zone. Now, like I said earlier, Toybox Audio did reach out to me via email, asked me to check out FM Zone and just keep it real with you guys and say 100% what I think about it. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have checked out their other plugins before. I believe it's called Buzz Zone was the other plugin that I checked out from them. And I thought it was pretty cool. So I thought this one might be worth bringing to the channel. And just to give you a little more information on what FM Zone is. Anyone who may have used Buzz Zone in the past, you'll notice that in the UI, it's basically the same style of UI, but the synth is a little bit different. So FM Zone is a boutique FM synth engine, and the engine takes a lot of its cues from older 80s hardware type of synths. So we're talking about things like 4-operator, a Yamaha TX81, but they did add their own cool little twists and tweaks to it to kind of really make it their own and really stand out. So it is going to have that retro sound, but they updated it and kind of brung it to now with their own flair on those old retro takes. And it also has an updated GUI that makes it a lot easier to use too. So Buzz Zone was already easy to use, but this updated GUI is a little bit smoother. So you don't have to be someone who is like super knowledgeable about synths and how to use it and how to tweak this to get the sound that you're going for. Right off the bat, between the presets and the different sounds they have inside of this thing, you're ready to go, and you can tweak those sounds to your liking, but you don't have to be like super knowledgeable about synths in general, which is really cool. So if we just dive into what's happening on the screen here, you're gonna notice that the UI itself is really clean, easy to use, but a great synth to get started on just to get you familiar with it and to allow you as a producer to have fun with it so that you don't get turned off by overwhelming amounts of buttons and knobs and faders. So this is really good for that. So if you take a look at what's happening here on the screen, you have your main envelope section and you have 9 different envelope types. So they're represented by these arrows right down underneath here. Every one of the main knobs in your synth section and the main knobs in your sample section, which are these knobs up here at the top, every single one of them are attached to an envelope. And you have 9 different envelope types. And those envelope types are being controlled by some of the knobs up here. So for example, you have your speed knob, and this is gonna allow you to adjust the speed of whichever envelope you have selected. You have your attack and your release, which is pretty straightforward. Right over here, you have your effects knob, and you can click the down arrow and you could go through a bunch of different types of effects. So you have everything from echo to distortion, flanger, phaser, chorus, you have reverb, all these different types of effects. And this knob right here is gonna allow you to dial those effects in. You can turn it up to get more of that effect, or you can turn it down, kind of like your mix knob. Over here, you have your piano button. You can click it, and that's gonna open up the piano roll at the bottom here, and you can click it to make that go away. And you have your settings button over here on the left. Down here at the bottom, like I said, is your main synth engine, and you have your main knobs here at the top. And in your sample engine, you have your main knobs over here at the top as well. And underneath each of these main knobs, you have some additional knobs, and you can tweak the synth even more. You have source, sub, AM, ring modulation. You can adjust all of those things with your tweak knobs right here. And you can even go through a really big list of sounds right down here at the bottom. And you can also go through different samples over here in the sample engine. You can turn those engines on and off with these power buttons right here. And like I said, very easy on the eyes, very easy to use, simple, straightforward synth, which is one of the things I love about this because I'm a presets guy. I buy plugins based on really dope sounds and really dope presets. I don't like to get tied down with all of the overwhelming options. I can get lost in options. So I like plugins that kind of give you the options you need and may want, but don't make it overwhelming on the screen in the UI. And I think this does a good job at that. Up here at the top, you have your presets menu. And over here, you have your volume fader. And over here, you have this dice button here at the top. And and when you click it, it's gonna allow you to randomize and kind of mutate the different presets that you have selected. If you click on the presets option, you'll see you have everything from bass, bells, brass, drums, effects, hits, keys, leads, miscellaneous, pad, plucks, rhythm, sequence, string, and synths. And every one of these categories is full of just really cool presets. And so what I want to do right now is I want to jump right into the presets and let you guys hear some of the sounds inside of this thing so you can see what's going on inside of FM Zone. So I'm going to just start off here with the first couple of presets that come loaded up inside of this thing, and then we'll jump around to some of the categories and hear what some of the sounds inside those categories sound like. So without even opening up the presets menu, I'm going to just start here. One of the things you might be able to hear and notice right off the bat is that you're getting a lot of distortion and that retro grit. That's purposeful. That's part of the character of this plugin, is that it gives you that retro sound of old 80s synths. We can click on bells and go through some of the bells. That last bell was kind of crazy. I like that one. So you have a bunch of categories here, and you have some really retro sounding presets that come loaded up in this thing. But like I said, they give you a lot of presets right off the bat. Like if you look in the bass category, it's full of presets here. The bells category is full of presets. Now, like I said, you have 9 different envelopes right here, and you can really adjust the character and movement of every single one of these envelopes just by selecting which one you want to be on. So if you, as far as your synth engine right here, if you click on pitch, which is this arrow right here, you can hear how this sounds. And when I move this up, you'll hear the pitch change. You can double click anywhere on the envelope and make adjustments to the curve of the pitch. And after that, you can play around with the knobs here to really dial it in and make adjustments to what that pitch shift sounds like. Then after you've adjusted the curve in the envelope, you can make changes to the pitch itself and see where that starts at. So then you can come over here to the filter envelope and make adjustments there. And you can change the type of filter you want. So I put on a chorus one right here, and you can listen to what that sounds like. But as you can see, just from messing around with the knobs, you can take the presets that already come up in this thing and create a whole different sound and a whole different type of preset. It's really fun to use. But what I want to do right now is I want to get right into the Cookup. I want to show you guys 2 beats that I made using this plugin, and it's just going to be on a loop. I didn't like arrange it or anything. I just made it. So we'll check this out. So that was the first beat, really simple. And this is the second beat. Let's check this thing out. So yeah, that was the beat that I made using FM Zone, and that was FM Zone. All in all, I'm gonna be honest, I think that this is a great entry-level synth. I think for someone who's looking to kind of get their feet wet in the synth ecosystem, if you will, would find this really fun to use, which I think is really important. Because like I said earlier in the video, sometimes you can get overwhelmed with options. And if you've used synths before, you already know it's full of options, full of different ways you can tweak your sound. If you're someone who's just getting in the production game and you want to start using synths, having something that dials those options into not only fewer options, but the right options for what it is you would be looking to try to do, like, you know, as a beginner. I think that's really important, and designing a UI that's fun and user-friendly is also very important so that you don't become bored, you don't become stressed, and you're having fun. And then when you start to ask questions like, oh, how can I make my sound do this? How can I make my sound do that? This plugin still has a lot of those options and those settings for you to tweak. They just painted it on the UI in a really creative way so that it's fun to use those tools. But let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you can see yourself adding to your arsenal? As always, if there's any new plugins that you'd like to see me review on this channel, leave it down in the comment section below and I'll get to it as soon as possible. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you can stay notified anytime I drop a new video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.